Hello, God's beautiful and precious people. I pray that you guys are having a blessed day today and that you guys are just well encouraged and you're standing strong in your faith in God, that you're trusting and believing that God is who he said he is and that his promises stand. His promises stand. Whatever he said, that his word cannot return back to him void. So I have a word from the Lord today. And the word is, bless those who curse you. And I know you may be thinking, like, why would I want to do that? Because God says we ought to do that we're supposed to be doing that. That's his law. Those are his words that says that we ought to bless those who curse us. And this word came from Matthew 5:44. This was given to me. God had mentioned 5:44 to me, but I didn't know specifically what he was talking about back on May 22nd. And so God led me to Matthew 5:44, the King James Version, which says, "But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you." And God not only said this one time, he said this again in Romans 12:14. Bless those who persecute you. Don't curse them. Pray that God will bless them. And God is saying that you may be faced with persecution, oppression, opposition, all these different things, people coming up against you. They're talking down on you. They're belittling you. They're saying these things about you. They're tarnishing your name. They're degrading you. And it may be from people that you never even expected. The people that's closest to you. The people who's supposed to love you. Who's supposed to support you. Who's supposed to be there for you. And God is saying you just don't understand why. You don't understand why. But God is saying that just like Job and his friends, and how Job knew in his heart that he had done nothing wrong. He had done nothing wrong, and he didn't understand why all these things were happening to him, why he was faced with all these different trials and tribulations. But his faith did not waver in God. His faith did not waver. He still trusted that God was who he said he was, and that God would deliver him, and that God was with him, and God was truly with him. But you have these people who was the closest to him that tried to convince him that he had to do something wrong, that he did something in order, because God would just not be allowing these things. He would not be doing these things unless Job had done something wrong. Job was the righteous man who had ever lived, and he did not do anything to God to step out of the will, to step out of the covering, the protection of God. But his friends was convinced that he did, and they did everything in their power to try to manipulate the word of God, to twist the word of God, just like Satan, to get Job to say that he had done something wrong. And Job was not having that. But in the end, God told them that they must go to Job and give a sacrifice to Job, and Job had to pray for them. Job had to bless them, and Job could have easily been like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. These are the very people who tried to get me to curse you, who tried to get me to turn away from you. And Job did that. He prayed for those. He loved them. He prayed for them. He loved them even after all they had done to him. God told them, he says in Job 42, verse 7, after the Lord had said these things to Job, he said to Eliphaz the Temanite, I am angry with you and you and your two friends, because you have not spoken the truth about me, and as my servant Job has. So now take 7 bulls and 7 rams and go to my servant Job and sacrifice a burnt offering for yourselves. My servant Job will pray for you, and I will accept his prayer and not deal with you according to your folly. You have not spoken the truth about me, as my servant Job has. And so the 3 friends did what the Lord told them, and the Lord accepted Job's prayer. After Job had prayed for his friend, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. God saying it is not your responsibility. It is not your task to take it upon yourself to repay somebody for what they have paid to you. God says vengeance is his, he shall repay. He is a righteous judge, and God judges righteously and equally. God says, I am the one who searched the heart and try the reins of every individual person according to their deeds, according to their actions. I repay them for what they have done. So whatever these people are doing to you, allow God to repay them for what they have done to you, because that's his responsibility. That's his task to do that, to repay vengeance. It's not your responsibility to retaliate. It's God's responsibility to vindicate you, just like he did Job. So God is saying in Psalm 7:15, he says, they dig a pit to trap others, then fall in the pit themselves. But God is a merciful God. Even in his anger, he does not repay us for what the punishment that we deserve, just like he did these people. They had to go and give a sacrifice, and God says, I will not pay you fully for what you truly deserve. I'm not going to give you. But go to my servant and he will bless you. Instead of cursing you, he will bless you. And God is saying to you on today, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them, do not hate that hate you, pray for them which despitefully persecute you. And God is saying, instead of you cursing them, pray that I bless them. Pray that I bless them and I do not give them the punishment that they deserve, that I have mercy on them, because I am a merciful God. And God is saying, although I know it's hard, just trust him. Just trust him that he will render justice where justice is due. When you know in your heart, just like Job knew without a doubt. Just like God knows. God knows without doubt. He's an all-knowing God. And God says, I see all. I know all. I hear all. I see what you cannot see. I see a person's heart. So allow me to repay them for what they have dished out. God is saying, just pray for them. Pray for them and bless them. And I will bless you. When you do these things, I will bless you. So I'm praying for you guys. I love you guys. You guys be blessed and have a blessed and prosperous and wonderful day.